And that's the flaw. Again, I don't want to get into this analytics eye test debate. Like I'll do it until I'm blue in the face. But like that's the flaw in analytics. Like there's no oomph. Like I don't know how to put it. Like heart, determination, relentlessness. Like you look at the Leafs play last game, and I'm like, man, like it just makes no sense. Like, do you guys want this? Like, do you not wake up every day and say, I want to fucking hoist that Stanley Cup? I want my party in the summer. Like, maybe we're wound differently, guys. Maybe we're of a different generation and a motivation. But like, that's the thing that gets me and Rosie. And Rosie fought in this league. He played in this league. He knows how special it is to be a Toronto Maple Leaf. We're a player in the NHL, period. Like, we have Luke Shen on quite a bit. Buddies with Rosie. Same story. Like, you can see and tell the guys who care, and they don't know if they're going to be out there for their next shift, but they're going to go balls to the wall. And that's what is so alarming. I don't know what motivates these guys, how to motivate these guys, whether it's Mike Babcock or Sheldon Keefe now or any assistant coach or a GM. It's just so puzzling that they can't get the most of these guys when it mattered most. And I don't know, just the motivation has to be off, right?
You shouldn't have to motivate at all as a coach come playoff time. Not at all. Put the lineup up and you guys figure it out.
Yeah, and to me, if you are one of those guys where it's like, I want the cup party, I want to win this thing, it would have to just grind your box when you're looking down the bench at somebody who doesn't give a shit or who isn't up to, doesn't even if it's not your intensity level. It's guys, you'd be more pissed off at your own guys than you would be than the other team, I would think, half the time.
Yeah. You know what drives me nuts too, and I know this is old school, and right when you were in the league, it happened a lot. Like, I loved when coaches called out players in the media, man. They never do it anymore. It's like, man, you want to piss off a guy? These guys are all over social media. Call him out. Tell him he was shit to the media. What is he going to do?
I found it odd this year. Like, in Calgary, it happened. I don't think Darryl is easy to play for, and I know he's a prick, but he seemed to be okay at his job last year, and now all of a sudden he's an old fossil and can't coach. Different. And now guys aren't – in the old days, there's not a player that would have said the things that they've said since Darryl's been fired. You'd have said, yeah, maybe it was time for change, and that would be about as far as it goes. Now, it's great for media to get better quotes and it's more interesting and this and that. But I think it happened in Winnipeg where, oh my God, coach says the team's horse shit. And then, Wheeler comes back and says, well, the coach is an idiot for talking that way in the media and he shouldn't have said that. What I'm getting at is that it does seem like now players that line between you don't question the coach and the players just are supposed to play for the coach, it's gone. It feels like the coach is afraid to question the players or call them out. And if he does, the players have no issue saying, yeah, well, fuck you. I won't play for you.
Yeah.
That's fine. We know who's going to leave first, not me.
Well, that's a – go ahead, Pinder. Yeah.
Yeah, just a real quick, like I think we're moving towards that era of a different style of coach if we're not fully already moved into it. But it's funny that the players coach like John Cooper was actually the guy that kind of called his guys out a bit this year, right?
But he's established that over years and years, and they've had 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row, right? Like it's he's probably feeling fairly confident in his situation in Tampa.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a leash, but I was having this conversation actually in Vegas. I was at a watch party at Stadium Swim the other day and talking to a couple fans, and I just said in general, like the motivating factors for human beings, like in this league, it's changed so much where it's like you have one good season off your rookie year and you get paid, your dreams, like your life is set up, your kids' lives are set up. There is no, it's not like the old school days where guys like 30 finally hits UFA and finally gets the ticket, right? And I think that goes along with what I'm saying about motivation. Like, what are these guys waking up every day to do? Like, what's your internal passion? Like, if it's not the Stanley Cup, is it Warzone? Is it video games? Like, and that's the puzzling thing for me, honestly, in this conversation is like, what drives you? Like, I don't know about you guys. When I wake up every day, I question what drives me, what I want to accomplish today. I watch this team sometimes and I'm like, are you even there? Like, are you on Snapchat for half the game or on the tab? I would take the tablets completely away, man. That drives me nuts too. That's all I do. They get back to the bench. Oh shit. What did I do wrong? It's like, play the game.
We went through that here. Not some of the, just, you think you finally have the team figured out. Okay, here you go. So you beat a really good team. You beat a really good team. All right, you're on a roll. You lose to Chicago. Okay, then you come back and you beat a good team, another good team. You lose to Anaheim. It's the most frustrating thing, and it sounds like we're friggin' old men shouting at the clouds, but it's kids today, right? It doesn't it though. It just
it does sound that way. And Pinder, you might
It's
not
true,
be
though.
off.
I'm
It's true, and you might not be off that there's a new wave of that needs to take place or is about to take place. Or what does that mean, though? Does that just mean that every 2 years you're going to need a new coach for these guys? Like it's well,
you don't want that, do you? Right?
No, but that's the
think it's
problem. Is that if these guys aren't,
right?
if they're not motivated internally, like saying, if they're not motivated internally, and every coach has guys that even Cooper would have guys in the room that he butts heads with a little bit or like him less than other guys. But my point, or what the point I'm trying to make is, if it's a 2-year window and you have to play up to the players and you don't know what their motivation is, if it's not winning a Stanley Cup, there's no motivation at all anyway. So there's nothing you can do as a coach. And then if you question them, you're going to get fired because I don't understand how there's going to be a coach. You might as well just give them the tablets on the bench and go, well here was the play. Watch. There's no sense having a coach because he can't motivate you, and he can't. If I sit you because you're not into it tonight, well then F you. I'm not going to play hard for you the next game. The Stars are going to say, like, the only thing a coach can control is your ice time. And if you control a guy's ice time and say, even if you don't do it publicly, people will pick up on it if you don't play a star or someone else. And if you limit someone's ice time, the media is going to notice, the player is going to notice, and if he gives you the finger, what can you do about it?
How do you instill fear? Right?
Accountability, even if it's not fear. Accountability.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to play that way. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I am. Because guess what?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's true and not every player is the same and everybody's different, but if the fact that your bank account is overflowing has anything to do with your desire to win a Stanley Cup, then you are a shitty teammate and a shitty hockey player.